Hello everyone, today we will be playing Tales from the Yawning Portal, Dungeons & Dragons. I'm Mario Vilas, your Dungeon Master, and to my left, your right, I guess you'd call him my right-hand man, but he's really not because my right-hand man is at the end of the table there. I don't know why we set it up this way. Go.
My name is Edward. Do you want us to also do character stuff?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's all.
My name is Edward. I'm doing Goblin Artificer. I'm going with Squig Bottlebreaker.
Bottlebreaker. I like it.
I thought it fit with Artificer.
Yeah, I think it fits too.
My name is Robert. I'm playing a Wood Elf Ranger named Carac. And, yeah.
I'm David Harper, and I am playing Grenna Brynweld, Human Fighter.
I'm Sid, and I'm doing a Dragonborn Paladin.
I'm Jesse, and I'm playing a Hobgoblin Wizard named Krom. He's a nice guy.
I'm Caitlin. I will be playing a elf druid named Marilyn.
Alright, now that we have these sparse introductions out of the way, the group of you, individually, approach the town of Oakhurst. You know, I was going to say Canehurst, but I'm like, that's not right.
Close enough.
Totally not close enough, unless you expect giant, astral spiders to be the end of this adventure, which would be great.
Sounds fun.
Unless
I
it
don't
would be the
I
end.
think that's the way to go for the very first.
No.
We'll
I
just
feel
have to find out.
We're going to play the book, not Bloodborne.
Ah,
I know, right? Such a monster.
Probably a good idea. The Bloodborne content's probably not the best to roleplay through.
Oakhurst is a small village. It's not very well known or famous, but you all have your individual reasons for being here. And we're going to start with... remind me your character's name?
Squig.
Squig. We're going to start with Squig. You enter the town from the north side. It is about the middle of the day. You know that the fruit you're here to find is going to be sold in about a week. Of course, you come for this fruit to help heal your master, the person who taught you all the artificery arts. Upon approaching town, what does Squig do?
Well, on the way towards town, knowing we know the goblins are the issue that the town really, really hates. They're
the ones who sell the fruit and would rather they just have it themselves. But
so, due to being a goblin, I'm going to disguise myself to be probably a halfling, since similar sizes.
do you have a disguise kit?
I believe so. I believe it came with the background version. Yes, disguise tools and thieves' tools.
Okay, then give me a check with the disguise tools. Let's say intelligence plus your proficiency.
Okay, then that would be 2 plus 5?
Yeah.
No, plus 15. So that would be
4.
plus 4. Okay. 9.
9.
Oh.
Well,
Fucking ugly ass halfling.
so you apply your makeup, your fake ears,
He just stuck a rat on his head and called it a wig.
like a reverse of LARPing. Instead of getting pointing ears, you get round ears.
Your hair just screeched at me.
Try to make your hair less matted and goblin-y. And you walk into town knowing that no one will be able to see through your disguise. Indistinguishable from the average goblin, or average halfway.
Of course.
Clearly didn't misspeak the first time. There are a couple immediate large buildings you can see. A big sort of town meeting place. There is a shrine with a big sun symbol over it. I don't know how religious your character is, but Pelor is a pretty common god around here, so you can probably put 2 and 2 together. There's a jail. Probably want to avoid that. You can tell because it has an aura, an air of just desperation and horrible feeling. And
Why is
some
there a welcome
people
sign
walk
on the
around, going about their day. No one seems to have noticed you and made a big fuss about it yet. But to be fair, you are kind of on the outskirts of town. Do you go to a specific place or look to do a specific thing?
How far into town would the tavern be? Would I have been able to get a map of the town? Or do I need to go out and grab one?
No, you don't have a map, but you can try to find a tavern. I mean, the smell of liquor makes most taverns immediately recognizable upon entering a town.
I think that would probably be the safest bet to hit first.
Okay, your character heads towards the tavern. We are starting off like every D&D adventure from now since the beginning of time.
Alcoholism.
With alcoholism.
Granddad.
Yeah, okay.
He was a great adventurer.
So, Rob, remind me of your character's name again real quick.
Carac.
Carac, okay.
But we're...
Oh, right. Carac and
Amaron.
Maron.
So nice to call
You
him.
entered the town probably a little after... there's probably like a list with all your names. In retrospect, be easier. It's probably a little after Squig, so you don't see him. You see much the same buildings as I described to Ed. A village meeting place, a shrine to some sort of sun god. Do either of you actually have religion? Since you're both out-of-towners, we'll say, you probably don't recognize Pello's buildings on site.
I'm pretty sure we're just one with the conclave.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, you see a building with a sun on it. Oh, you didn't answer me. Do either of you have religion? Proficient?
No, we'll stay with no. There's a person I want to worship, but I guess.
Well,
I
I mean
don't
the
know.
skill.
No.
All right.
Do you have
Then you see a immediately noticeable from this side of town is a jail, a village meeting place, and a building with a sun on it. White marble in some places, probably fancy. Yeah.
Well, this seems like a very nice place.
It does seem like a nice place. Quiet. We should probably see about trying to get a little bit more information before we run off.
Oh, sure. We can do that.
So,
But you know what else we could do?
what's that?
We could also go check out the local wildlife.
We were sitting
What if they
here,
have different animals?
we were sent here for a mission. You remember this, right?
Remind me why we're here.
We're here to get the fruit,
Right.
remember? Or any seeds of it that we can.
Sure, okay.
The wildlife can come later.
Okay, got it. Yep.
So we'll head. Well, I'm gonna head towards either the meeting place or a tavern if I spot one. But one of those.
Are you looking for a particular one?
Just a place where people gather, and it wouldn't be too conspicuous for travelers to be there.
Well, the tavern kind of answers that.
Yeah.
Are you going with your companion?
Didn't he just?
Yeah. Are you going?
Are you going with me?
Yeah. I'm going with him.
Okay.
Okay. You both head to the tavern as well. We will see if this train continues. David, remind me your character's name again?
Grenna.
Grenna. Grenna enters town from the south, coming from the south, probably the region, to make her fortune. She knows that there is an ancient citadel in the area and vast treasure and glory to be gained. But what does she do upon entering town specifically?
Well, she will seek out the local tavern in an attempt to gather not just maybe some gimmicks or maybe some extra ground level rumors as part of if you got to perform here, some extra ammunition, maybe fall back on that. But also couldn't hurt to get more local information about the Citadel itself.
Okay.
And also, it's what time is it in day?
Midday. So
It is also midday already, and it's good a time for a drink as any.
It's midday somewhere.
midday here. Sid, what is your character's name?
Asura.
Asura. Asura finds himself in the town of Oakhurst, attempting to spread the word of Ra. How does he go about this?
Well, seeing as this town is new to me, I would go to where people gather the most, either a square or anywhere else.
Okay.
So I guess I look for wherever that may be.
All right.
Large congregation of people.
Yeah.
And Jesse, what's your character's name?
Krom.
Krom. Cool. And Krom is actually got into town a little bit ago. Krom has actually been in town for a little bit since the day prior. I figured it was a good place as to hide out from the people pursuing him. He has actually a little bit more information on the situation than the others since he's been here. You know that there is, in fact, a fortress in the area that used to belong to some sort of cult before it sunk into the earth and has now been taken over by goblins. And these goblins have been selling a magic fruit to the town that supposedly has wondrous healing properties.
It's very quite possibly a remnant of the cult. Unlikely that they cultivated themselves.
Very unlikely. Goblins aren't that clever.
Or that magical at the end of the day.
So, wanting more information, but not exactly having the resources or the manpower. As someone trained in warfare, you know going it by yourself is a
Fool's errand.
You have decided to wait and see if you can scrounge up some
Companions.
companions, comrades, whatever you want to call them.
Don't look now, but it seems as if 5 other people just walked in through the door.
How convenient! And there's an old man in the corner just sitting there mysteriously.
I'm gonna go sit next to him.
There's no old man.
No.
So where would you wait for these people? For anyone looking capable?
There's probably a primary square where people move through the town. A large central area where I can perch on the side, a comfortable chair.
Okay.
Maybe food and water.
Question. Does your character do anything to disguise his true
A
nature?
very heavy hood.
Very heavy hood. Okay.
The robes come with the archetype.
They're class robes. Don't worry about it. Squig. As you walk through the town square towards the inn and tavern, unmistakable from the smell of ale. I want to know your passive perception. Your passive perception is 11.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You walk through the square. Everything's fine. And you don't. How do you know what this is?
Think about it.
Well, mine's in here somewhere.
We know. As you walk through the town square, you don't see anything out of the usual, but everyone is stopping and staring at you. Krom, as he looks around, waiting for people of notice, sees the worst, ugliest halfling he's ever seen in his life. His skin is like blotchy and discolored in places. Like he has kind of like a sickly shade of like green to him, like he's about to keel over and vomit. And honestly, he's kind of fat for a halfling.
A sickly creature. I hope it gets help.
Now remind me, what's your passive perception?
11.
11. With your 11, actually, you can roll me perception or insight if you wish.
I'll do perception. Same thing, really, with a roll. 12.
Once it gets closer, you realize this is not a halfling at all. It is a goblin that is taking some effort to disguise his innate goblin nature, but not really doing that well.
Aha! I
would be wearing the alchemist clothes, by the way.
This is either a spy for the local goblins or a very desperate one.
Well, knowing something of desperate goblins.
Oh, a hobgoblin? He's a goblin? He's like a distant, runty cousin.
You know that cousin that never grew past 3 feet tall?
Oh, yeah.
We all got him.
I have message.
I am the cousin.
I have the message cantrip, and I'm going to cast it.
Okay.
And I'm going to say, or at least you'll hear only to you.
Can I get the post number?
Your disguise is either very poor or quite brilliant. Now, I'm looking for capable hands. Meet me in the tavern later. I am an ally.
Just gonna say nothing, nod, and continue walking. While still looking around, seeing if there's anybody paying attention to me besides the crowd of people looking at me, as you mentioned before.
Well, they're more looking at you with curiosity. Like, what the hell is that thing? Rather than...
I guess if anybody looking at me differently than the rest of the townspeople.
You can give me perception.
Well, there would be the man at the edge there. Klaatu! Barata!
I didn't know you need the big spell stuff for trips.
That's just Jim.
This is
He's a show off.
He's a screaming madman, and he's off his rock around moonshine. He screams spell components quite often.
I was thinking show off wizard college
Sounds
dropout.
like a
He has like
very
A level of
dangerous
wizard,
person.
so it's like A level of wizard. Okay, but what else are you doing?
Okay.
Nothing.
The only thing he learned was
Okay,
Expedi's retreat and jump. You'll never catch him.
On perception?
Mhm.
Okay, so with your perception, you actually notice that there is a man in a heavy hood pointing at you as he says this. Additionally, although you're not sure how you know it, you know upon getting this message that you are capable of returning a similar short message by whispering it, and it will reach him. This is some sort of magic. If you have Arcana, you can roll Arcana. If you don't have Arcana, don't worry about it.
I do not.
Okay, well then don't worry about it.
Well, I guess I don't really have a choice then, do I? And just start walking. Or continue walking.
Continue walking?
Still
Okay.
looking for the
You find it. It is a medium-sized building. It has a sign swinging on it of a boar with a big old bushy white beard. It's called the Old Boar. Yeah. You open the door. There are a couple people.
Don't let it rip the fabric.
There are a couple people in there playing dice and cards and drinking. The most notable of them is an older gentleman at the bar. Because as you enter, he looks at you and he says, "If you're going to be sick outside. I'm not cleaning up your vomit."
It was a traveling salesman that sold me something. I'm trying to lie to his fucking face.
Give me deception.
Sold me something, told me it was supposed to fix ailments. Luckily I do have deception, so hey. Okay. 2, so 20.
And he says, "Oh, well, if that's you after being fixed, I guess I wouldn't want to see you when you were sick."
I don't think he was truthful with what he was sounding.
Oh, yeah. Happens to the best of us. What can I get you? A room? Stiff drink? Some food?
The last 2, but one of your medium and one cheap.
Okay. Coming right up.
Hey.
You sit down at a smaller stool. You have to pull over like get it. It has a high chair. No, that would be ridiculous. So, I'm sorry. It's Carac and
Maron.
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 Maron. Thank you. And Maron.
Replace the O with an A and moron.
No, it's an E.
Carac and Maron then walk through the village square. There are some people walking back and forth, probably going on their normal day. There's a guy carrying some big bags of flour going towards what you imagine is an inn, judging from the smell. I want both of you to give me your passive perceptions.
15.
And 15 and
14.
15 and 14. Now tell me, is your character making any effort to hide?
Yeah.
Okay.
Should I make a check for that?
Yeah, give me stealth.
6.
It's
Spectacular.
those first
So
skill
you
checks
both
at the end.
notice a man in a heavy cloak kind of positioned to the side of the square, like he's trying to spy on the square, but it's pretty obvious.
I say hello.
Um,
Hi! He's looking at me weird.
An elf waves and says hi.
Hand in hand with robe, hood down, and walk away. Maybe if they think I'm a monk, they'll leave me alone.
That guy's interesting. We should follow him.
That's
I'm sure he knows something.
You are going to give me such a headache on this mission. I can already tell.
Yeah, right. We're on a mission. We should ask that guy.
Fine.
People in
We-
robes always know things.
Yeah, so let's follow the guy. I mean, we have to have someone anyways, and he clearly doesn't want to be bothered, so why not bother him? That's good
Right.
logic.
Okay.
I don't know if she didn't know, but I was being sarcastic.
What makes you think he doesn't want to be bothered?
You said hi to him and waved, and he put his head down and walked away like he didn't. Like
He probably
wanted
just
to-
didn't notice.
I'm pretty sure he was ignoring us on purpose.
Well, let's
How-
go find out. We should
Well,
ask
he's
him.
getting away.
Yeah, he is getting away.
Okay, so Krom, you turn and walk away, and the two people who notice you discuss following you loudly in the open, and then start to follow you as they discuss following you loudly and in the open.
Prepare for combat.
How far is the local tavern?
Not that far, like 50 feet. It's across the square.
I'm just gonna make my way to the tavern.
Maybe they'll be less inclined to try
The
anything
man
in
in the
public.
heavy robes is heading towards the tavern.
That's where we were going anyway.
Yeah.
God damn, I'm the perfect quest giver. I am a quest hook.
Anyway.
Okay.
Well, being a hooded wizard, I don't know how you could be anything else.
That's true, Gandalf. Or Strider.
Wait a minute.
Strider was a ranger.
He was still a cloaked guy.
Yeah.
Um,
Hooded wizard especially. Like, damn, man.
Anyway, you head in. Since you were here from yesterday, the innkeeper, Garen, recognizes you and says, "Ah, you're back. What can I get you?"
Ale and meat.
Okay, have a seat.
I'll go sit. Is the goblin in here?
Yeah, the goblin is in here.
I will go.
He is sitting at a half stool at a smaller table. You think they have like a table more convenient for small folk.
Sorry, my character's
You know
5'5".
that aside from humans, halflings are probably the second most significant group you've seen around.
Nomadic, but very culturally inclined to enter into other groups.
Yeah, I mean they've built something of a community here, so it's not that weird to see a table for the short folk. Do you go and join it?
Yes.
Okay.
I will honestly probably just sit cross-legged at front of the
You
table.
sit cross-legged on the ground.
About how long or how much time would have passed from you walking in and him walking in?
Not even 3 minutes. Your food hasn't arrived yet.
Oh, okay.
However, before you have a chance to say something to him,
checking.
immediately after you come in, say your piece, and sit down, the two people who are following you enter. An older man in a slightly dirty apron says, "Oh, I guess today's just the day for travelers, eh? What can I get the two of you?"
Perfect.
Elf and elf.
Just some food and a drink would be nice.
Okay.
Tell me about your wines.
Well, we have red and we have white.
I like you. Red, please.
Very
Come
good
right
year. Don't remember what it was.
So we can spot him, right?
Oh yeah, he's just sitting at a table with the sick person from earlier, the sick halfling.
I'll go
We
sit
didn't see
down
him,
over
did
there. We
No, he did.
Right.
Yeah.
Sorry, my bad. He is sitting down with a sickly halfling. And it's only about 2 steps towards the table before you realize that is definitely not a halfling. That is a goblin. You don't know why he's
There's
done up like a halfling.
something wrong with that thing over there. And
I should
by-
go help him.
Please, no.
I don't think he's actually.
So I have
sick.
a question. When
Oh,
you guys
I know.
talking, are you turning away and whispering, or are you
I
just
will.
saying?
I will be, but
I have nothing to hide.
Okay, so you're talking loudly and normally you're trying to whisper. All right,
okay.
just to make sure. So you hear the elf say, "I should help him," and look at you.
Oh.
I don't
Run, Ed.
think he's actually sick.
I know, but his makeup is terrible. That I do say quietly.
Okay. As you guys are discussing this, the door behind you opens, and a large, muscular, armored woman steps in with a huge greatsword on her back. She immediately is the most noticeable thing any of you have seen all day, because she's giant.
I'll step out of the way if I was
You
in the
go
way,
ahead.
to the side where.
A pair of elves step to the side of you, and I'm sorry, your name?
Grenna.
Grenna. Step to the side of Grenna and allow her passage into the bar. There is a bartender who currently has his back turned to you because he's grabbing stuff and pouring drinks. There is a short table with a man in a heavy cloak sitting without a chair, cross-legged, and a really sick-looking halfling at the table. He looks like he's about to get sick all over the table.
You'll never live it down.
Yeah. Most of the people who were in there watching, they are holding cards and dice. You think they were doing something before this procession of weirdos walked in.
Oh no, only one of us is a weirdo.
Yeah.
But
You.
Fucking weirdo.
Okay. What is going to do?
Grenna will observe the table and the halfling and mentally note that's something to check out later. But first order of business is first. in that she will slam her hand on the table near the barkeep, and she will call firstly to him, secondarily to the room in general. Hi, barkeep! The stiffest drink and
He
twice
drops his mug on the ground as he looks up. He goes, "What the?"
the stiffest drink you have. 2 mugs for me and whoever man enough to share a drink with Grenna, the woman of the winding way. Out of character, it's my stage name.
I hope I bust in the door at that moment.
He turns and he says, "Oh Lord, you scared the crap out of me." I mean, yes, right this way.
No. It is understandable. The might and prowess of the woman of the winding way can be intimidating at times,
You called me weird.
but is easy enough to embrace.
There's like a whisper between 2 people, a dwarven traveler and a human woman. They seem to be whispering to themselves, like to each other, and looking at you. But otherwise, no one else seems to take notice, unless any of your characters are super into gladiatorial games. In which case, I will give you a history check to know of the famous Grenna of the Winding Way.
I'll take that roll.
Okay.
Probably just something to look like in town.
18.
Grenna is a Amish gladiator who's pretty famous. Within like the last year or so, you've heard tales of her exploits, which include some pretty impressive gladiatorial matches. A lot against like animals and monsters rather than other people. But you know, she can throw down with Bustle.
Interesting.
Although it doesn't really seem like anyone else in here recognizes her, except the dwarf and the
I'm
human
new.
who are whispering. He offers you a seat and is bringing everyone their food and their drink. Asura, standing in the town square, looking at a sick halfling walk by, a pair of elves walk by, chase a man in a cloak, and then a huge woman with a sword, basically all go as one train into the tavern. As he sits there and ponders this strange sight, what does Asura do? They're so weird, no one's even noticed that you're a dragon person. Like everyone's staring.
Everyone's distracted by everything
Everyone's
else.
distracted by everyone else. That no one has turned and been like, "Huh."
Well, seems like this place is very popular. I should try there.
Okay. Asura walks in, and as each of you now, Carac and I'm sorry, one more time.
Alright.
Emeron. Emeron.
Amaran? Yeah.
Emeron. I said Emeron. So
Yes.
Was the door
moron?
was the door closed?
Emeron.
It's so
yes,
easy
the
to
door
remember.
was closed.
Especially because he
Well,
is.
then I'm gonna open it very.
He's actually
hard.
not that dumb.
Okay.
It's just...
Oh, yours is
Or
weird.
yeah.
Wait, how hard are you trying to open it?
With 20 strength.
To
too.
make a noise, like make a sound.
Give me a strength check. You got a 20?
Yeah.
All right. As the two of you are picking a place to sit, and you are getting your drinks brought to you, the door is slammed open violently as it smacks into the wall, almost breaking it, but not quite. And standing in the doorway is a dragon man. Golden scales, about 6 feet tall, large greatsword upon his back. Large greatsword upon his back. He enters the tavern, and everyone who's whispering to themselves fall quiet.
Rude.
Is that a character?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh,
What else
don't be
is rude?
mean. That could be a cultural thing. Maybe he likes to make an entrance.
Maybe.
Apologies and greetings, everyone.
So, he's nice.
Barkeep, a pint if you will.
He reaches back down and he says, "One moment." Suddenly very, very busy
Ah.
in here.
Actually, no need. I have ordered twice. I can spare one. Should you join me in a drink, Dragon Man?
But of course, my fair lady.
You sit down with Grenna. You don't know of this Grenna. You just sit down with a large, muscular-looking woman carrying a sword, much like your own. 2 drinks are brought to you. It's a fairly strong ale. You think probably not watered down that much. Some inns try to skimp you, but probably just a little too intimidating for him to try to, try that with you.
Good man.
You offer to
Either way.
help Garen. He refuses, saying, no, it's fine.
When our drinks come, I will hoist one and say, "Well met. I am Grenna Brenweld, also known as the Woman of the Winding Way."
I am Asura. I come from a far-off land that you probably have never heard of. But I venture over here to help spread word of my god. Maybe catch a few stragglers, help them find their way.
Then I wish you the best.
What brings you here?
I seek to test myself, actually raising it so it's audible, to test myself against the Sunless Citadel.
Did you say Sunless?
Yes, I've heard that it's a place of darkness and glory just waiting to be seized.
Well, that is a problem.
Aye.
And a solution I might be able to rectify.
No. Well, the more the merrier, as always.
Of course.
Whisper to Emerald.
They're here for the fruit too. I didn't hear the word fruit in any of that.
Wait, do I know that the Sunless Citadel is where
we're here.
fruit is from?
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
then I'll say.
Do
Yeah. Fruit is from.
They
No,
are-
no, I'm not asking that. I didn't even ask my
How
question.
would you grow
Do I
fruits in
notice
Sunless?
anyone else in the room besides Grenna?
It's a magic fruit.
Well, when
Magic.
you sit down, take a drink, and look around, there is a man sitting on the floor cross-legged in heavy robes. There is a sick-looking halfling. There is a pair of elves who are whispering and looking in your direction. And there are some people playing cards and dice, or at least they were. Now they're just looking at the circus of player characters who have come in. Easily the most interesting thing that they've seen all week. Yeah, and other than that, no.
Alright.
So you bring up that they're going to the same place you are.
Yeah.
How do they grow fruit where there's no sun?
Are you saying it out loud or whispering it back?
How do you grow fruit where there's no sun? That doesn't make any sense.
Magic. It's magic fruit. It doesn't have to follow normal rules, right?
Plants need life. Sun. Sun gives the plants the energy they need to
Actually,
grow.
do you want to roll nature or arcana? I will give either of you a nature or arcana check.
I'll roll nature. Well, 25. That's a natural 20.
I got 15.
Okay, so you know that druid magic can be used to grow fruit without light. So that's possible, although why druid would remain at the bottom of a sunken citadel eludes you. You know that Carac knows that sometimes in deep places in the Underdark, evil magic can sometimes cause unusual plants to grow that can feed on stuff that isn't sunlight.
That doesn't sound good.
A particular thing that comes to your mind is a type of underdark fungus that feeds off blood.
Yeah. So,
But you don't think a fruit would grow from that.
yeah. Sometimes plants find other sources of nutrients besides the sun.
But why would we want that?
We were sent here by other people, okay? Just do your job and we'll go home.
Right, but why does the Conclave want that?
Ask them when we get back. We're just here for the fruit.
Did I not ask them then?
They were not very specific. Apparently it's some magic they're interested in looking into. Now, does Squig and Krom have anything of interest to add?
You should travel in a robe. It's much less disgusting.
Well, I can probably already see where this discussion's going to go. So why did you follow me, or I guess send me down here?
It seemed like this is a natural meeting spot for potential adventurers to go after the fruit. There's coin to be made, knowledge to be gained,
What's your stake in the fruit?
money, knowledge.
So why try to get my attention?
I'd die if I did it alone. I'm not a fool.
So you're just trying to go in with as many people as you can.
What about those two
Preferably.
6-foot-tall people that just walked through the door?
And the means to do so have entered already. Several of them have.
No, he's just going to tie the sick halfling on a stick and wave him.
Either
It's
they'll,
like warding war.
either they'll run away or attack him because he looks sickly and weak.
Tie him on a string, attract predators with him.
Anyway.
What was the last thing you said?
Anyway. I need allies. I'm no fool. And several have already potentially walked in.
They're very big and very loud.
It's perfect.
We're the distraction.
Quite
I
preferably,
was talking about those two, the giants.
quite preferably they would draw fire.
You're already talking like I already accepted.
You came here for a reason.
Suppose. What would be the terms then?
We go in. We do not stab each other in the back. We all leave a little wealthier.
You'd be surprised how often I have heard that. And then I've also felt this thing, mostly the back of my head. What's the guarantee I myself will get a piece of this fruit? As it is what I am after.
That I myself have no need of it. You take me on my word at best.
Guess I have no real choice since you know.
Know what?
Good.
Okay.
Okay.
We should introduce ourselves.
Squig.
Krom.
You have to reach your hand out of that rope.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Okay.
Which means you see what is very clearly not a human or orc, elfish, none of those. The hand of
It's
possibility.
a clawed hand.
His hand is orange.
Orange. Apparently there's like thick hair.
Yeah, they're orange and fur.
Yes.
But no claws.
I don't think so.
Not really. I mean, they might have nails, but
Okay.
no more than the average thing.
Okay. Because usually when I think kobold, I think of the typical
Hobgoblin.
Scale.
Hobgoblin.
hobgoblin. Apologies.
You think of a man going after Spider-Man. I thought of that too quite often. I was looking up images for a hobgoblin.
Clear.
Okay.
So, anyone else?
I don't want to dominate things too much, but I will at a certain point, ask about Ashura's god because he mentioned his god, and I am curious.
Yeah.
He is a sun god. He gives life to all that he shines his light upon. I just wish to share this with everyone else.
This sounds like a fair shake. You're not perhaps referring to Pelor, are you?
I wouldn't know. I haven't been around these parts for long, but I do understand that people do have their own beliefs around here.
Well. I only ask. I think there's a temple to him around hereabouts. I have a different bit of worship myself, but it's also, funnily enough, related to light. Sunlight in particular. Are you familiar with the writings of Dol Ara, goddess of sunlight and honor?
Please share.
You can give me
Oh.
a religion check if you want. Yeah.
18.
Okay. Yeah, you're actually, despite not being from around here, you're very familiar with, back home, there are similar gods.
Words from other travelers that have come.
Yeah.
Okay.
You've seen a shrine to her.
Ah. Alright.
She seems noble, and someone with which Ra would agree with very much.
I have indeed. They're actually quite similar.
No, really? That's very interesting. How so? Does Ra also represent a moral ideal alongside sunlight?
God of creation and light, but light gives life.
Simple, yet mighty. Very interesting.
Oh. I know. About as interesting as what's going on at the table over there.
Yes.
I'm very confused by the assortment of people over there, but intrigued.
I as well.
But which group are you talking
Should
about?
we greet them?
Well, no time like the present, I suppose. Lest they get away from us.
Hi, check.
So is your character referring to the small table with the sick halfling and the man on the floor? Or is he referring to the table with the two whispering elves?
Oh, they're at a different table?
Yeah, two
I
different
thought they
tables.
were all at
Oh,
the
you guys
same
actually
table.
got to a table.
I
I
thought
thought you were still by the doorway.
Standing there like,
They sat down.
well,
keep this in
I
mind
only
first. said that because I thought all of them were sitting
Okay.
together.
That's fine.
So I guess I would change it to that halfling over there looks like he might need something some kind of, I don't know, or might need some help in some way or another.
I think he just needs a
I am here to both help and spread my word anyway.
Jeez, I'm thinking to myself, jeez, I really did fuck this
I
up.
have greater interest in the one in the robes. Likely privy to some interesting things about town, or perhaps without.
It's very convenient that
Or
they're sitting
not.
together then.
And I have another question. Is that
Right, so.
whispering, or are you just saying that normal?
Yeah,
volume?
That is normal volume.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Man, I love people who talk like the other people just aren't even there. It's so funny. Anyway. So, you two approach the table where the two of you sit. You see the two giants walking over.
The two largest greet the two smallest.
There's much room at the table.
I'm the same size as
We might need to move to a bigger one.
Actually, I have a character question. Is this just a shorter table, or is it an actual smaller, more compact table?
It's a shorter table.
Okay.
I don't mind it too much. Getting down, crossing readjusting, maybe nearly clipping somebody with an elbow, have spent time with shorter folk, good folk. It's accommodations I'm used to. Tell me, it is a bit difficult to perceive beneath your robes. Be you perhaps from the mountains?
This is a lie. Yes. Quite cold.
And I just want to make sure I have... yeah, okay. And then I will ask, but in Dwarven, do you roam with the mines down under?
Is there any way I can use... There's no knowledge check that can help me with this, is there?
If you don't know Dwarvish, you don't know Dwarvish.
I do not know Dwarvish.
Do you know Goblin?
Yes. They share some runes, but
They
loosely...
you know enough to know that she is speaking Dwarvish and that you don't know what the hell she's talking about.
I'm unacquainted with the languages of the stone folk.
No problems then. Just curious. So, may I ask what you two were discussing? And could it perhaps have anything to do with the Sunless Citadel?
We were speaking of that matter, yes.
You're not thinking of going there, are you? You in particular. You don't look too good. Is there anything I can help you with?
As I told the bartender when I came across a traveler, sold me something, and I did this.
He should be hung.
Do I need to roll deception against them?
No, you don't have to.
Do I need to roll perception?
No, you can kind of choose to believe or not believe. Basically, unless it's going to disrupt what's going on. Usually, players don't roll social checks against each other.
Or are you talking about to figure out
If
you're not? You're not a half.
Oh, you need to figure out if he's a goblin or not. You
Yeah.
can roll perception or insight, your choice.
Well, both roll the same. So
Well, he only has to beat a 9.
I should hope that he is brought to justice.
9.
Wait, does Defender win in
No.
D&D?
No, aggressor wins in D&D.
Oh, okay.
So you look and you're like, unless that potion turned him from a goblin into a halfling and then stopped halfway through, I don't think that's...
Do I know?
I think you're pretty sure he was a goblin before he took whatever potion.
And everybody knows that goblins are basically not cool here.
No, it's not. They don't attack the goblins on sight. They just don't like them. But I mean, that's true basically everywhere you're going to go.
Fair.
It's an odd potion to buy from someone.
He said it would fix a cough.
Cough. Right.
You can't know what's in every bottle. Unfortunately. I'm not as magically inclined as some other folk.
Well, you've received quite the raw deal, my friend.
He got
Hopefully
his.
he's... very good.
Overhearing all this talk, Garen speaks up and says, if you'd be looking to challenge the Sunless Citadel, perhaps you should talk to Carowin first.
Oh, Carowin. Who is this Carowin you speak of?
Carowin Hukrele? She is a merchant in town. 2 of her kids went into the Citadel a couple weeks ago to attempt to clear it out of the goblins that are infesting it. They have not come back since. She's offering a reward to anyone who can recover them. And perhaps she has a little more information that will help you on your quest.
Has the food and drink hit the table at this point?
Yes, I said earlier. You did.
Oh, okay. Then
By the time he came in, everyone had food.
Okay, then when the drink hit the table, I would have pulled out a copper coin and started shaving it. and beginning to pull out the alchemist tools. I'm gonna try and bullshit to try and fix up the disguise. I'm gonna try and bullshit
Fix the disguise kit?
to basically give myself an excuse to re-roll disguise.
The thing is, you'd have to take the stuff off and reapply it, so you can't do that in full view of everyone.
No. It would be more to take one of the drinks, make it look like I'm making something, then ask to use the restroom. Or you use whatever it is used for
okay.
that.
So you're gonna get up and go and try to reapply your disguise kit?
While taking the mug, looking like I mixed something with the alchemist.
a bush outside. I don't know what you mean.
fine
I don't
if
know
you
what
can
you
do
mean
that.
by restroom, but I think the closest you're gonna get is possibly an outhouse.
Well, they have like a room with a chamber pot,
Right.
probably.
Probably. Yeah.
You excuse yourself to be Bourgeois and attempt to reapply your makeup. Give
Don't
me
be lower.
another check.
Don't be lower.
That would be fucking hilarious.
It's 9. 6. I think it's getting worse.
Alright, roll.
It's higher. What did you say I did before? It was intelligence?
You had 4 to it.
4? Okay, so 11. It's a little bit
Upon
better.
returning from the restroom, the halfling's seems to look better.
Better how?
His skin is less green and splotchy. It's more uniformly. It looks like he regained some color. I mean, some of you already know that he's a goblin, so it's just the makeup's on better. But for any of you who I haven't already told that you know, he looks healthier. Like he got up some of the
Like
weight.
he's not about to
That's
keel
good, that's
over.
Shrink down, and there we go.
Well, while you're in the bathroom, go to address the other two. We do seek the Citadel. And judging from looks and your past in particular, I've heard of your works in the Colosseums.
Ah. Thank you.
We, I think, would make a fantastic entourage for this dungeon delving.
Yes, I should say so. New arrivals, all of us. Unless I
Oh,
misspeak.
what do you have?
A
to
good team,
offer?
a good angle.
Knowledge.
Anything else?
I see you lack it.
I mean, not to insult you or anything, but if this place is a, possibly a den of goblins, I doubt giving them insight would benefit us.
That is a fair question.
But it would benefit the two of you.
Okay, what knowledge do you have of the place then?
Are you perhaps a gladiator yourself?
No. Scholar, mostly.
So do you have a map of the place then? So we don't get lost.
I can make one.
Okay.
It'll be a little dangerous.
You know, the two of you overhearing all this.
Yeah.
I am armed.
Well, very well. Though naturally, you'll be quite safe in our care regardless.
I'm certain you seem more than capable.
As you would know.
While they're talking, I want to get up and go to Garen.
Yeah.
And ask him where about we would find the lady offering the bounty for her children. Not bounty, but the reward for her children.
I guess it'd be a bounty for the ring.
This is she has a store in town. It's across. He gives you directions.
Okay.
This is if you and your friend are looking for the Citadel, are the two of you going to be going it alone?
Probably not. I was just asking because when you said it before, you didn't mention. I thought it would be pertinent information instead of stumbling around the town, you know, bothering people asking where.
Understandable.
I'll go back to the table
Yeah.
that we share and tell her I know where the person is. Or what is her name?
Amaron?
No.
The
Oh, Carol.
Carolyn. He told me where Carolyn's shop is if you want to go there. Or we could maybe join up with them, but I don't know if our goals will all align since I'm whispering this part.
Right.
Since we need the fruit. Some of them don't seem interested in the fruit, just money or glory, but
I thought we only really needed the seeds.
we might only need the seeds. We only need the seeds, right? We need the fruit or the seeds failing that, right?
If you can't bring back any of the fruit, so obviously they like the whole fruit. If that's not possible, obviously they'll accept part of the fruit, and if you can't bring back any of the fruit, then seeds would also be acceptable.
Okay.
If the fruit is completely destroyed, they will accept like any information on the tree it grew from.
Okay.
So yeah, bring back what you can. Is basically the orders.
As long as they don't try to take the whole fruit, we should be fine.
As much as we need information, I don't know how I feel dealing with someone who would treat goblins as an infestation.
Who said that? Which one of them?
He mentioned that the daughters went in to take care of the goblins.
Oh, yeah.
Well, the children.
No, the children.
I didn't say dollars.
Ah.
I don't think she's asking us to clear out the goblins. She's just worried about her kids.
No, but she's still someone who's having odd problems towards...
Those
Well,
were
she was
her
very
children.
kind
Her
people.
children had the problem. She didn't have. I'm sure she didn't send her kids in to deal with the goblins.
Where do you think they learned it?
I don't know. Look,
It's a learned behavior.
if you want to give her parenting advice, we still gotta go talk to her.
That's a bad idea.
Yeah, I'm not.
Look, you never walk up to a bear and tell her she's raising her cubs wrong.
Then don't tell her she's raising her cubs wrong. But she has.
Definitely not. She'd be confused.
Oh my god. Why couldn't they have saddled me with anyone other than you? We just go and get the information she has. Whether we bring her kids back or not, having the information will only benefit us. Just be civil. And hopefully not.
When am I not?
Anyway, I'm going to ignore that question. I'll walk over to their table where everybody seems to be gathering at the tiny table and say,
The elven man in leather armor and with
scale mail.
Scale?
Yeah.
Look who's fancy.
Oh my god.
In scale mail and with a longbow moves over to your half table.
I'll follow him.
Judging from
Additionally,
the
the
not
other elf
so
follows.
quiet conversation that we're going on, I think we have a common purpose. I'll say to I guess the robed one.
I believe we do.
Oh, guess who was right? We did need to talk to the robed guy.
That is not important right now, Imran. I was going to go over and
Anyone else, he says.
I was going to go talk to the person who has their children missing for any possible information, since we seem to have a common interest. Whether we decide to join up or not, we might as well go together. So she doesn't have to...
It would say for another explanation.
Yes. I'm Carac, by the way. It's nice to meet you all.
Grenna Brenwild.
I gathered that when you
Ah,
were loudly enunciating.
right by the door.
Yeah.
It is nice to meet you, Melon. I am Ashura.
I'm Carac, that's...
I'm
Amaron.
Amaron, hi!
I didn't say Amaron.
Oh.
Hi.
What'd you say?
I said Melon.
Melon? What is that? We already know you. Stop.
His friend in Elvish.
Oh,
Krom. Well met.
nice to meet you. Is he back?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, you're back.
Like before they got to the table?
Yeah.
Okay. Squig. Squig Bottlebreaker.
That is an odd name for a halfling, I will say, in that intonation.
Don't be rude.
I don't see how I'm being... You, never mind.
That is a very rude comment.
Is it rude, though?
It's
You-
very rude. You don't just go up and be like, that's a weird name for one of your kind. That's
Okay, that you might have a point, but he's clearly not a halfling.
right again.
I did suggest a cloak.
He's not?
You said that out loud, didn't you?
Hmm.
He's trying. Why would you point it out? These people are obviously very aggressive.
The people around look at you like, you haven't done anything.
You know what you did.
They literally haven't done anything, though.
They look really confused now
In fact,
at your accusation.
I actually wasn't talking about them.
Oh.
Okay. Well, they don't know that.
I suddenly feel uncomfortable. So are we actually going to be traveling? Or are we going our ways to gather what we need?
We should probably leave here before we insult more patrons.
That would be nice.
yeah.
Well, it seems like we're in this together as of now.
For the moment, it makes sense.
We should probably discuss terms of how we're helping each other at some point, or what our goals are, to make sure they don't conflict.
That would be wise.
But I don't see why it couldn't be on the way instead of in here.
I'm going to get up from the table.
Yeah, same. I'm gonna snag some food and shove it under fucking clothes to the rat.
I'm going to go.
Mouse.
Okay.
I'm going to go pay my tab.
Okay. You guys pay your tab. It's 2 copper each. And head out the door. Come on, guys. Bring your own pencils.
Well,
Actually, Greta will leave behind 5 copper.
And leave. Where do you go?
We're going to where the merchant lady was.
yeah.
Whose name I forgot again already. I'm
Carowin Hukrele?
Carolyn. Alright. We'll see if I remember this for 3 seconds.
Is the family
I'm guessing no.
is the family infamous in any way? Anything that a history check would give?
Yeah, you can roll history.
15.
They're merchants. Not. I mean, they're big in the area, but
They're local.
yeah, they're pretty local. Yeah. They're definitely the most wealthy family around. You approach the store. You head inside. There is a older woman working at the front counter. She sees the group of you enter. Who's entering first?
I don't know. Krom was the first one to get up and head out the door, but
We don't know where it is. You guys
If
do.
people
yeah.
start
That's true.
fading back, Grenna's not going to slow down.
Okay.
I'm definitely.
So unless someone stays in the front, it
Brenda
will be
and,
Grenna.
Well, I would raise that these are the only two that
Uh,
know where it is.
Grenna and Amaron enter through the door first. Carolyn puts on a forced smile and says to you, "Oh, welcome. May I help you?"
Oh, I'm Aaron.
"Oh, well met, Amaron." She barely shakes your hand.
Actually, I feel as if we're here to help you.
You step forward and say this. She shows dull surprise to your features. And she says, "Oh, how can you and your companions help me?"
Well, we've heard of this Sunless Citadel. Bit of a legend around town. We wish to go there, but we hear tell that you have both information and ties to this place, one way or another. And I am sorry to hear about what happened, and I do wish to help you in any way I can.
We don't know what happened, but my children went to the Citadel. They have yet to return. If you're interested in the reward, I am offering 150 gold per person for the return of their signet rings, and 300 for the return of them alive. Per person.
That's not a small amount of money.
How long have they been gone?
2 weeks. I don't hold out much hope that they still live. But if they do, I would like to see them return.
Can persuasion be used to like try to get her in a better mood, or would that be something else?
It's more of like a long-term
I have a
thing.
brewing kit.
All right.
Oh. I think when you're sad and you start drinking, you don't necessarily get happier.
Oh.
You just want more.
That's not from personal experience or anything.
Of course.
Thank you. Yeah. She says, I would be careful though. The Citadel's been here for as long as any of us can remember. It has claimed many lives over the course of this time.
The building eats people.
That's not what happened on Jesus Christ.
Have there ever been anybody...
Or
the cult that was originally there, is there anything that I can recall about it?
Yeah, you can actually make me both a history or an arcana. Well, not both. You can choose history or arcana. Same with anyone else.
I'll do arcana. 9.
I have neither.
Anyone else, history or arcana?
We need to.
I don't
actually
think
have
so.
the skills, correct? I got neither.
Nah.
I would only add a 2.
No dice, haha.
No.
Yeah, no people that have ever come back, necessarily.
Oh, no.
Okay, yeah.
Everyone from the cult died when it sunk into the earth.
And ever since then, no people have made successful expeditions into there?
The goblins come out selling the fruit every summer solstice, but other than that, no.
Do they have a specific spot that they always try to go to?
No, they just show up and down. Coming from the south, but that's the way the fortress is. You go south down the old road to a cleft in the ground.
And then to myself, 2 weeks, there's very little chance of survival unless they found food and water or being taken care of.
you don't need to say it.
That's why I'm not saying
say
that out
it to
loud.
himself.
I'm thinking to myself, that's bad.
Yeah.
So, odds
Probably why she's not holding out
very
hope.
low.
Yeah.
And her, wise Roman for not hoping. Depressing, but
She says, as for information, I'm not sure exactly how much I can help you with. I can give you directions if that's what you're asking.
Anything would help.
Would you know of a person that might know more of it? In town, maybe? Or near it?
I don't know.
I got this fancy trait for my background that lets me know where knowledge might be.
Sure. You want to activate your trait?
Yes.
Okay. Well, there's a shrine to Pelor in town, and
Churches are often
Yeah.
a repository.
of knowledge, and also the priest there might know about this cult. So,
Got it. And then I'll say to the group, I'm going to check the church. Temples are often a repository of knowledge. Perhaps there will be something of use there.
yes, Corky might know.
Corky,
Corky. The priestess.
thank you. Well, then I'm going to start walking
If
over
you
to the
need
church.
anything for your travel, let me know.
Hmm.
If you guys want to grab rations or rope or any basic gear in the player's handbook you want to grab and have money, you might be able to. You can do the materials after. You are heading to the Shrine of Pelor. Is anyone
Yes.
else joining their mysterious robed companion?
Yes,
Of
course.
if only out of interest.
Yeah. Well, if you're all traveling, that's fine.
There's
Yeah.
nothing else really to do.
Okay, you head to the Church of Pelor. Yeah, inside there is a gnome wearing red robes with a yellow, like, sun on the front of them. She turns upon your approach and says, "Hi, welcome to our shrine."
Got it. Out of character. Part of the trade as well was access to libraries and stuff, and working as a cloistered scholar. Would that mean I'm probably recognized or at least known by name among some temples?
Sure.
All right.
Then change that to, but you walk in last, so she says hi to the group of you.
Hello.
Well met.
Greetings.
Upon all of your entry, she sees you in the back and says, "Oh, Krom, can I help you?"
Yes, I'm looking for any knowledge about the Sunless Citadel that you may have here. Even esoteric works have value.
Well, there's not like a book written on it per se, but if you have any questions, I can try to answer them.
Have there been any expeditions in or out that have had any success?
Success? No.
Any that have come back alive?
No.
How long has the deal with the goblins gone on?
13 years.
Not long.
Have there always been legends about the Sunless Citadel before they started selling the fruit?
Well, the Citadel used to... the whole place sunk into the ground after a dragon attacked. It used to be a fortress to a cult to this dragon, a Shardalon. That was many years ago.
How long did it take for the goblins to roll in?
We don't know exactly. We only know that they first came to the surface and tried to barter the fruit 13 years ago.
So clearly there was a successful expedition. The goblins.
And I assume the fruit has some merit considering the deal's been going on for so long.
Oh, the fruit is quite magical. It can heal any injury.
And does not
We've
come
tried to plant the seeds, but the goblins managed to keep stealing them. Every time the bush starts to grow.
That is impressive for the efforts of an entire town.
Do you guys post a guard at all when you
Yes.
and they still steal it?
Mm-hmm. Every year.
Any people have seen them stealing it?
No, they're just gone.
How do you know
But
this
who
can't
else-
grow under those conditions? Can I make a knowledge nature roll for? Do I know if magical fruit disappears sometimes if it's not grown under the right conditions?
No, there's to your knowledge, there's not anything like that. And she says, "Well, none of us have seen the goblins steal them, but who else would? We see the bush start to grow, and after about a month of growing, it just vanishes without fail."
The goblins didn't make the most sense. Because if other people could grow the fruit, they would lose their ability to sell it that well.
The value
And
of the
they
fruit
are
would
very
plummet.
sneaky and underhanded.
Yes.
Makes me wonder
That's
why
not a
they
very
broker.
nice thing to
Makes
say.
me wonder why they brokered a deal in the first place. Such an untrustworthy bunch.
And they're probably not strong enough to attack us directly and take over the town.
But gold would allow mercenary comforts. They could purchase allies.
Still sounds quite unusual to me.
Very. You never hear of a
I only
goblin
treat
plan.
the injuries.
And there's been no reports of the injuries ever coming back or illnesses?
No.
Do you have any old layouts of the temple when it was still in use?
No.
They were a secretive cult.
Yes.
most dangerous. There's no telling what ancient traps still exist.
I have some knowledge navigating traps, but
That's useful.
it'd be interesting to see what type they would use.
If it's a standard cult, perhaps you'd simply die. Or be dragged away to a hellish plane.
And she says, well, we don't want that to happen to anyone.
A faith there is no equal.
Well, I hope I was helpful.
Thank you, Cork.
I've been dragged to a plane before. It wasn't that bad.
But not the abyss.
Could be fun.
A stiff pint makes many things bearable.
Like the pint itself.
So, what do you guys do now?
Are we gonna head there now, or do you want to wait until tomorrow?
Might as well.
Any other supplies that people want to grab?
Yeah, well, there's still some things I still want to purchase.
But we can do
But we'll do that in a bit.
Nah.
Assuming the supplies have been purchased. Probably.
If it doesn't take like the rep, would we head out when it gets dark? If it gets dark by the time purchasing is at end, or would you wait till like?
No, it'd only be like 3.
Well,
So
if it's
there's still plenty of
if
sunlight.
it's goblins are mainly nocturnal.
Yeah, they have dark vision.
So the
they're
best
very active
time
at night.
to try to sneak into or ambush goblins would be around early morning.
Assuming the Citadel has day and night inside of it.
Well, there's
So dark.
Well, their
So-
cycle might
True.
correlate to.
But you
The
can't
sun
change. You
rises
can't
and
change. Be that as it may, you can't really change a creature's habits.
True. So what I propose is
Is
we
to wait
march
until-
there, camp near at night, and first light reach the temple.
Okay.
that would work.
Very
It
well.
gives us enough time to prepare.
How long does it take to walk there?
2 hours. It's about 7 miles away.
We should rent a horse
What
and wagon, or even just a wagon, just in case we find things that we can't necessarily carry back most immediately.
Like the bodies of people.
Can we?
That is a very good point. Or injured people that can't walk.
Yes.
Okay. Then, yeah, you grab that stuff and you begin your journey to the Sunless Citadel. Hope everyone had a good time. Ed, where can people find you if they want to find you?
Nowhere, I ain't got shit.
Okay. Rob?
The same here.
Okay. David?
You can find me on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter as artist David Harper.
Cool. Sid?
Yeah, no social media. Fuck that shit.
Ain't got shit, Captain.
And Kayla?
You could try to find me on Tumblr. Try.
All right, and you can find me on Twitter. I will post it in the link below. And yeah, you can also find a Twitter for all of us, which will also be in the description below. So, yeah. Bye!